Now to Phar Kim Beng, who's the founder and CEO of the Strategic Pan Indo-Pacific Arena. Thank you for joining us on TRT World as we continue to bring our viewers live pictures from outside the South Korean Parliament. Just give us your reaction to what is happening there this evening.
In light of what is happening right now, all I can say is that the region, which is formed primarily of regional organizations such as the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, that is the driver of most regional events in the region. All of us are shocked. And that association, which is known as ASEAN, is comprised of 10 countries. And South Korea is actually one of the dialogue partners, one of the 6 dialogue partners, a total of 11, but 6 of them have become comprehensive strategic partners, and South Korea is one of them. And this is something that ASEAN and the rest of the world have not been expecting at all.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was. Can you even begin to hypothesize what was going on in the president's head this evening?
President Yoon may have been inspired by his interpretation of the Trump administration, where regardless of the kind of draconian tactics that have been used by Trump, he still won the House, the Congress, and potentially will have even more power when he comes into office on January 20th, 2025. There is every likelihood that President Yoon may have been inspired by that kind of trigger effect, as a result of which he feels that he has the courage and the strength. But unfortunately, I don't think that the parliament actually agrees with him, including his political party too. And he does not have the parliamentary majority to pull this through. So over the next few hours, this sudden decision by President Yoon would be looked upon with great interest and trepidation, affecting his political career, if not the legacy of his own political party, because he won on a very slivered.
Yeah, well, you mentioned his political career. His approval ratings are low. His wife's facing accusations of fraud. Frankly, it seemed unlikely that he was going to make it to the end of this presidential term anyway. There was another 3 years to go, I think.
Another 2.5 years to go. But the likelihood of him having any kind of impact at all in South Korea or beyond, given the fact that President Yoon has been taking a very hard and strong line against North Korea, which is their arch enemy. In fact, even when he was declaring the martial law, he stated very clearly that this was declared in order to check and counterbalance the anti-statist forces that have been influenced by the North.
And just sum up for us, because we're going to get to talk to our correspondent in Washington in just a moment, why South Korea is so important to regional stability and why they will be watching it closely in the White House.
Well, South Korea, or the Korean Peninsula, is the last vestige of the Cold War that never really thawed. In fact, when the Cold War ended in 1989, as marked by the fall of the Berlin Wall, nothing really changed in the Korean Peninsula. It's still divided across the 38th parallel. Now, Korea, for what it's worth, the peninsula is still in a state of war. And we don't know how North Korea will actually react to the situation right now in the South. And North Korea is one of those 9 countries that have nuclear weapons. So whatever South Korea is doing in a very sudden and unpredictable manner does affect global stability, if not the region per se.
Yeah, and in your assessment, do you think that the main peak of this political crisis has passed now?
I think it's evolving into an even more dramatic drama. Whoever that is supporting South Korea right now, regardless of which faction and which element, they will all be rooting for their own self-interest. In the case of China, for instance, they don't want to see South Korea or Korean Peninsula spiraling into any kind of instability because it doesn't serve the interests of China at all.
Listen, Phar Kim Beng, thank you so much for joining us. It's going to be a long night. No doubt you'll be watching it. We really appreciate your thoughts. Thank you, Phar Kim Beng, their founder and CEO of Strategic Pan Indo-Pacific Arena.